Welcome to Chit Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. Let's get right into it. Yes, I'm back and getting back on track. I've been out. The girl's been working. Let's get right into it. So if you didn't know, I'm going to get ready to fill you in about our girl, Miss Wendy Williams. How you doing? Okay. It's all up and through the YouTube streets, all over social media. Okay. Her son came out, her only son, Kevin Jr., is 22 years old, came out with his first interview to the U.S. Sun. All right. Okay. Kevin came out and said his mom needs help. Okay, he says his mom is near death and blames her team for her spiral as she breaks silence. Okay, in this interview, right? So moving on and getting into some of the details and some of the things he had to say. Okay, all right. Okay, he says his mother's mental and physical health has been in jeopardy since being placed under guardianship last year. We knew that. Moving on. He believes that concerns over Wendy's health have been pushed aside while others around her are profiting from the project she's involved in. Okay, stop right there. Real quick. Okay, now I think we all kind of been seeing that. That's been going on. We've seen that. And I'm not even going to name all the names, but all the different key players that's been around her. It doesn't seem like anybody's helping her. I always have the question, who's helping Wendy? I've been asking that question for the longest, who's helping Wendy? But yeah, that part I would agree with. I would think that's true. That people seem to me, it seems like people are after her money instead of helping her. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, I'll move on. Kevin told the U.S. Sun, I know there are all sorts of things happening that I know in her right mind she would never agree to. Okay. As hard as it's seeing her being taken advantage of, I know that I'm making sure she as a person is okay. That is the important thing. Well, that is the important thing, Kevin. Because eventually she's going to realize that craziness that's going on. The U.S. Sun recently exclusively reported that she was hospitalized in last month in New York, which her son now also confirms. And I will speak to that part. Okay. I recall that there was a whole thing about she was hospitalized. She missed her. Actually, I have another video I'll put out too, where she missed her a speaking event. They were going to pay her $25,000 at the Women's Expo, I believe, and she missed it, and she ended up being hospitalized. And then they came back. Her rep came back and said, "Hey, no, she's out. She hasn't been. That's not true. Blah 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 blah." Well, which is her manager, Will Selby. Okay, but looks like Kevin just confirmed that yes, she was hospitalized. Not shocked, just confirming. Okay, moving on. Kevin claimed it was the first time he had heard from Will, who had often called the jeweler for several months. Okay, he calls him the jeweler. All right. Kevin said with calls to tell me she was in the hospital and added that the last time they spoke before that was the end of last year. At the time of your interview, Kevin claimed that no one from Wendy's team, her guardianship, or the court that holds the guardianship case had told him that Wendy had been released from the hospital. He also said no one had updated him to let him know that she had allegedly been moved out of New York. Wendy's rep, Sean Zanotti, gave a rest statement to another outlet on May 20th following the U.S. original report that Wendy was in the hospital in New York. I can confirm that Wendy Williams is not in the hospital as reported. I can also confirm that she's not in New York, Sean said at that time. And so I remember that. That's part of what I was saying. The rep, Sean, I correct his name. Sean came out and said that, she wasn't in the hospital. But that doesn't mean she hadn't been in the hospital. He was just saying she wasn't at the hospital at that time. See how that works? Wendy bowed out of her scheduled speaking engagement. And I already spoke to that. So clearly, the bottom line is Wendy, to me, it's not really anything new, except the fact that, to me, Wendy's health is just, unfortunately, is going down. And it's very clear that more than likely, allegedly, okay, it seems that Wendy, may be indulging again. And it seems like it's not helping her health. And unfortunately, it just seems to me that there's no one around to really help her. It seems to me there are vultures. She has vultures all around her. It doesn't appear to be that not one soul is, standing up for her. That's what I hear and see. And that's the other reason I didn't really come out and say anything about it, because I was like, really? It seems like to me everybody's just taking advantage of Wendy while she's down. And that's just unfortunate and it's so sad. So I'll keep asking the question. First of all, I think we should just keep praying for Wendy and her health, and I hope everything gets better and she maybe somehow come to realization what's going on. But I would hope that somehow somebody will come around her that's positive and that can help her instead of feed off of her and use her. That's what my hope is. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do you think that people are just using Wendy and just trying to get her money and not really helping her? And why do you think that Kevin Jr. is just not coming out? I mean, it does, like, why is Kevin just not coming out by his mom? Like, why? Why does he just do it now? I wonder. Those are my thoughts and my questions. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. We'll keep the conversation going. As I always say, we can't change anyone else. Focus on the things you can control and not on the things you can't. I'll be back with another one. Thank you and goodbye.